you described kind of DNS, and a lot of people are familiar, of course, that, everybody knows website, email. Some people kind of have some basic understanding of domains. Of course, you need to purchase a domain name and, register it. But the DNS is kind of, that's where me and you come in. We're the behind the scenes guys. I like to describe the DNS service as kind of like a post office. It's like it's a post office for your domain. And so if somebody is on the internet looking for one of your services, be it email, website, or anything else, the internet powers that be, they send that to your DNS post office, and the post office for your your DNS server says, hey, where is that item located? Where is the email? Who's hosting the email? Who's hosting the website? Okay, it's this guy, and they send them that direction, just like mailing a letter. Like, okay, all that traffic's going this way, all that correspondence is going this way. And so that's kind of a fun way of thinking about DNS. Makes it a little more relatable for people. It's kind of like just like that. It's like a post office relay type service.
Yes.
So to answer your question, though, I just wanted to kind of lay a little groundwork there, so we have some common ground. But as far as the records you mentioned specifically, those are mostly in relation to ensuring proper email flow. And so those records weren't near as important. In fact, I don't even remember hearing about those records, even just 10, 20 years ago, whatever it was. It just wasn't something that you dealt with much. Maybe SPF to some degree, but the DKIM and the DMARC, those are relatively new, security measures that were put in place, because as we know, there's so much, just hoopla, on the internet. And so we as a people, so to speak, we had the technical people, we had to figure out a way to do things like guarantee more secure email delivery, try to limit spam, as much as possible, phishing schemes, things like that. And so those records, like SPF record, that helps validate the domain name. Like, hey, this is a legitimate domain name. This is, you own this domain, you have the DNS record set up. And so, hey, this any email sent from this domain name, they can be trusted. And so, those records, each one of them plays a different part, in those services. But those records they are vitally important. And as you know, Dave, we worked with customers recently who were having email delivery issues because those records, weren't set up properly. And so more and more services, Microsoft, Google, and beyond, they're becoming more and more. They're like, hey, you've got to have this set up. If you don't, then we can't guarantee that you're going to have, proper email delivery. Might bounce back, might not get delivered at all.
Yeah. Yeah, so I was just thinking about the timing on that, and I believe it was about 2 years ago, maybe three. So it was 2023 or 2024, when there was a big push. Okay, we need to try to prevent more spam from being sent out, and so we're going to enforce these records. And really, the enforcement came from Hotmail, Yahoo, Gmail. I mean, all the big name domain names where a lot of people have free email addresses, right? So those companies said, if these records are not a match, if the people don't have these records and they don't match the domain name, if they're not entered, we're not going to accept the email from them anymore. And it was like literally in one weekend, like everybody like, I'm not getting emails. I'm not getting emails. And it was just this huge trigger. And that was 2 or 3 years ago. And so this was relatively recent, an event that happened.